The 1980s. A decade defined by vibrant neon lights and technological optimism. Some may remember popular artists from this time, or popular clothing, cars, and toys. Some may just remember the fond memories they shared all together. Even decades later, the 80s continue to capture imaginations. From synthwave music to retro aesthetics, countless films, games, and TV shows still try to recreate the feeling of that era. You may have even heard of this one. But as nostalgic as the 1980s may seem, beneath all the neon was one of the largest drug smuggling campaigns to have ever existed. You see, smuggling illicit drugs became America's biggest business in the 80s. At this time, massively successful cartels such as the Medellin cartel ran by the notorious Pablo Escobar were thriving. Billions of dollars of these illicit drugs flooded the US each year through several means of smuggling. Some methods used by smugglers included flying at low altitudes just to stay undetected from the US military. Others included nighttime boat runs to drop off all their product in the cover of darkness. But one of the worst methods used by far was of course drug muling. If you were the unfortunate individual chosen for this job, you would be subjected to swallowing bagged drugs to go through US customs. Many who went through with this faced life-altering consequences, as all it takes is one small rip in a bag to make you perish. But the hazards of these methods did not matter at all to the smugglers, because the demand for their product was outrageous, and all they could see were dollars to be made. Everybody wanted what they were bringing into the country, but their most addicting product by far was the white stuff. These drugs were considered party drugs by the elite class, and literally everyone was on it. From athletes, actors, Wall Street, music artists, and even politicians, you name it, and they were most likely doing it. And as it turns out, one place in particular was one of the largest gateways for this product to enter America. At the peak of the smuggling campaigns in the 80s, 70% of the white stuff entering the US found its way through South Florida, and it's not difficult to see why. Routes from South America to Florida were short, the massive amount of water surrounding the area was difficult for the Coast Guard to patrol, and corruption existed all around. It was simply a kid in a candy store for smugglers. At this point in the video, you may be wondering why I'm talking so much about drug trafficking in the 80s. But all of this is because one character in particular has caught my attention from GTA 6. And of course I'm talking about Brian Heder. Said to be from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys, Brian has been a smuggler for decades. It can be assumed that with all of his experience, he has many connections to cartels and may even be in competition with some. And knowing this, I believe that Brian will be playing a very key role in the GTA 6 story. A very popular fan theory describes Brian as GTA 6's version of Vlad from Grand Theft Auto 4. If you haven't yet played it, Vlad is the first villain you encountered in the story. Vlad initially uses the protagonist, Nico, for his own illegal operations and even bullies him. Eventually, Vlad is eliminated by Nico. This only happens midway through GTA 4's story, setting up a far grander set of events that will eventually follow. Now, fans think this will be very similar to Brian's role in the story. As we already see, Jason is working for Brian doing local shakedowns in the Keys. And though Brian could be more charming than Vlad is, it doesn't mean we can fully put our trust in him. The theory goes that eventually Brian is eliminated, eventually forcing Jason and Lucia out of the Keys. The exact reason why he would be eliminated could be because of his abuse to Jason and Lucia, similar to Nico's Vlad situation. Or Brian could be simply eliminated by competing factions because of a deal gone wrong. This would eventually force Jason and Lucia out of the Keys and open up the game to the underworld of crime in Vice City. Though highly speculative, I think that this theory makes a lot of sense. As we know from past games, Rockstar loves to use the story to push you to explore more of the world they made. See the last game Rockstar made, Red Dead Redemption 2 for example, where at different points in the story the gang is made to look elsewhere to set up home base because of events in the story. This allows the players to explore more of the world through storytelling means. And depending on why Brian was eliminated, things could get a lot worse. Being from the golden age of smuggling, it is highly likely that Brian has many connections to the cartels that operate in South America and Mexico. This could get very bad for Jason and Lucia, as it seems as though Brian is playing a steady gatekeeping role. He may just be the buffer zone between everything flowing in and out of Leonida. With him out, this could mean that these cartels may try to seize Brian's routes, boat docks, and stash houses, and may even seek payments for outstanding debts. These cartels coming in will obviously not care that Brian is no longer there, and may even put Jason and Lucia in the crossfire if this happens to ever be the case. This inheritance of responsibility onto Jason and Lucia could progress the story, and force them to seek more lucrative and dangerous methods of making money to pay them back to free them from the cartel's control. And with that, I believe this is how we'll see the grand heist we see happening in the trailer come about. Of course, all of this is just speculation. Rockstar has only given us a handful of details about Brian Heder, but if history is anything to go by, that one sentence describing him as coming from the golden age of smuggling could end up being one of the most important clues we've received about GTA 6's story. And if that's true, Jason and Lucia may be about to discover the most dangerous enemies aren't the ones they make themselves, it's the ones they inherit.